want to show you how to build a computer using agent in Python, like the OpenAI's Operator Agent. With the Operator Agent, you can build an AI system that controls your browser by clicking, scrolling, and navigating through pages. So this was just released by OpenAI yesterday. However, the API is not available at the moment. In this video, we are going to use an open source alternative called Browser Use. You can find it on GitHub. Let's go back to the site again. Browser Use makes websites accessible for AI agents. So you can use it for extracting all interactive elements on a page. So with our browser using agent, we want to build an agentic system that interacts with the digital world to, for example, search for flight information, fill forms, and more. To start with browser use, to build the computer using agent, we need to install it. So by going to the quick start section, over here, you should make sure you have Python 3.11 or a later version installed on your machine. First, you should create a virtual environment in Python using this command. You have noticed here, they recommend using the UV package for the installation. I have already done that. The next thing you need to do is to activate the virtual environment with this command. Then you install the actual package. And finally, you install Playwright. That is a package for testing web applications. I have already created a project for this using Tray or Try. This is an AI code editor built by the team at TikTok. So it works in a similar way, like using Cursor or Windsurf. So if you want to try this AI code editor, you can visit try.ai and download it. I already have that, so I'm going to launch it. As you have noticed, the interface looks similar to Cursor or Windsurf. I will open the project I created. As I showed you previously, you can create an empty folder and create a Python virtual environment using one of the commands I showed previously. Next, you should set up an M file to store the API keys of the module you want to use. In this example, we want to use OpenAI. In the M file, I have already added that. The next thing to do is to create a Python file and make all the necessary imports. I have LangChain and OpenAI already installed. I also showed you how to install Browser Use with one of the commands I showed previously. In this example, we are loading the OpenAI API key from the .env file, so you need to install python.env and add the import. After adding the necessary imports, we load the .env file and create a new LLM instance. So we are using OpenAI and GPT-4o and load the API key as an environment variable. Next, we create a new agent using the agent class. You have seen over here, we have several parameters, but in this example, we want to keep everything simple. So we are required to add only two parameters. Task, that is the prompt we want to add for the agent. Let's, for example, search for one-way flight from Helsinki to San Francisco on 30th of January using Google Flights. Then we specify over here the model should return the cheapest option. So we add the LLM as a parameter and finally print the result. Let's expand the terminal and run the Python file with Python tray followed by the file name, that is browseruseagent.py. Before I press the return key, I want to tell you what will happen after I press the return key. Since browser use is purposely for browser automation, once we press the return key, it will launch a new browser, and without moving the mouse cursor yourself, our AI agent will be able to navigate the browser, do the necessary clicks based on the prompt you entered, scroll through the web page to find information, and more other things. So let's go back to the code and go to the terminal and press the return key. So you have seen here, it has launched the browser. So it is going through the browser and do the necessary clicks, presenting all the information without me doing anything using the mouse. You have seen here, it is selecting a particular date. And finally, presents the result. So you have noticed here, the task has been completed successfully. If I scroll up, you will notice it went through several steps. So let's expand the terminal more. As you saw previously, in step 1, it launched a new browser, that was the blank page, and started searching for the information based on the prompt we entered. In step 2, it started searching for the information but failed, but the agent was able to correct itself and proceed with the task. In step 2, it closed the cookie consent and proceeded to the next step, that is step 3. So it closed the cookie and proceeded with the Google Flight link identified. Then, in the 4th step, it went to the flights page and changed the departure date as you saw in the calendar view. In step 5, it failed again and corrected itself and went to step 6. So over here, it found the cheapest flight that cost this amount. And as you can see, it presented that information over here with the preferred departure date. Lastly, it created a GIF for the browser actions and stored those in agenthistory.gif. So all the actions you saw previously, like clicking through the pages, browsing to search the flight information, are stored in agenthistory.gif. We can command click it and open it right over here. So it is now cycling through them from step 1 up to step 6. So we saw all these previously. So this is how you can build a browser using agent in Python using browser use. With this library, you can build an agent for browser automations similar to the OpenAI Operator Agent.